Hey guys, so this is going to be back with another commentary video for Dragon Ball. I'm actually going to slow down the speed of this. 1 second. Okay, so here we have two players that normally go to our locals. They're basically beginners. They came into the format like maybe during the set 15 or Fighter's Ambition. So, or maybe even Dawn of the Z. Actually, yeah, they came in during the Dawn of the Z fighters. So, yeah. So on the left, it's going to be Trunksgeta. It's going to be Trunksgeta, and then on the right side, it's going to be Gogeta GT. I'm doing this video mainly for them, just to see if I can point out some of their, maybe some of their mistakes, and see that I can provide constructive criticisms. So if you are a pro GT player and a pro Trunksgeta, this is probably another video for you. But for anybody who's just coming into the game, my hope is that I try to help to the community by giving a positive commentary for these new players. Yeah, so you can see that on the right side, he tried to attack on turn 1, but you can't attack. So you're going second, you draw a second card, and he charges an extra card. So one thing you want to make notice is that he charges an extra card. So an extra card is a card that isn't a card that you use for playing in the battle area. It's something you use to like enhance powers or do a lot of combat tricks. So in here, he charges an extra card because also there's a card called Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte. It's a card that says that, here, I'll even show you guys on TCG Player if I can find it. So if you go on like TCG Player here and you type in Mecha Riposte, Mecha Frieza Robotic Riposte. So this is the card that Trunksgeta normally plays. I don't know why it's not showing any image. Robotic Riposte. This is probably the one with the image. Yeah, so this card right here, it states that if your leader is yellow and your opponent has 2 or more energy, reduce the energy cost of this card by 1 for each yellow extra card in your energy and drop area. So it's very clear that you should be charging extra cards or play them. They're in your drop area, so that Robotic Riposte is live. And Robotic Riposte basically allows you to floodgate your opponent, so to speak. It says when this card is played from your hand, each time your opponent would attack with a non-unison card, they must choose one of their card in active mode and switch to rest mode. So this basically taxes them to basically rest a card before attacking with another card. It stops the aggressive plays, and essentially that's a floodgate for yellow. So yeah, let's go back to the video.
Auto, we draw a card, and we'll combo Super Namekian, making him 15.
Okay, top one. Do this.
So he taps 1 and he plays the Unbreakable Son Goku. They play this card because 2 things. It's a Gogeta or Son Goku GT, and with this leader, you want to have one you want to have one Son Goku GT and also one Vegeta GT in order to, so to speak, quick awaken. When you do that, you can take life until you go down to 6, and then tap 1, draw 1. So that's why he untapped. That's basically, he didn't take the damage, but there's no need to. Another reason why they play this is because if you are at, I believe, 4 or more life, I forget what it was. They have a specific GT leader, Gogeta GT. I can type in Gogeta. I can probably find it for you guys. I always forget the name. So this one right here. So this is a Z leader that comes out when you have when you pay 3 Z energy, and if your life is at 4 or less and all your energy is in rest mode, you can basically play this guy on top of your regular leader, and then he's able to become 100k. So sometimes you can trick your opponent into swinging with their biggest guy, and you have one energy open, you can tap out that one energy using this guy, and then you can Z Awaken to go up to 100k. Because normally you couldn't Z Awaken if you have one energy open or more. So it requires that your leader is all tapped out in order to play the this guy. So it's important that you do that. That's one reason to do so to play this GT. Yeah. Another thing that I noticed is that when he swung in with the leader, he comboed a Super Namekian. Normally, this play is not a good idea because you're already wasting a card out of your hand to Z charge, and then just so that you could do one damage, and it's not so great when he was already most likely going to take it, but it's fine. This is okay play. It's just that I wouldn't suggest comboing away a Super Namekian. If you guys don't know what that is, Super Namekian is this thing right here. It's basically when it's in rest mode and has Bond 2. Bond 2 means that you have to have another battle card in play along with this guy, at least one more, and then his effect triggers or his continuous effect triggers. It says when this card's in rest mode, your opponent can't add cards from their deck to their hand using non-leader skills. So whenever they try to play a super combo, they can't draw. Whenever they play a card that basically says draw one card except for the leader ability, they cannot do that. It also stops cards that says that adding, like basically, I don't think there's any card in the game that adds, but yeah, this also stops. A lot of people don't know this, but this stops the Gogeta 8 drop. I think his name Triumphant Together. Triumphant Together. Yeah. So this actually stops Union Fusion for this guy. Union Fusion, you have to have like four. You have to have pay 4 red energy, and then because it has this text right here before the semicolon, it means that they have to draw when they fusion. So because Super Namekian basically says your opponent cannot add cards, Super Namekian is the card before us. Because this card basically says your opponent can't add cards, therefore you cannot play this card at all. So this is one of their boss monsters because it's like pretty broken as a card. Because it can attack all battle cards for free, and then switches to active mode. Like stopping this is pretty huge for the for yellow, because yellow just really needs to have their battle cards on the board. So anyways, back to the game.
All right. Did you wanna?
What?
So his opponents are reminding him to use the top 3 ability. So anytime this leader combos with a red Saiyan card, you can look at the top 3 for another Saiyan card, add a Saiyan card to your hand, and then bottom deck the rest.
What does he say?
And this works on
Look
either
at
player's
top
turn.
3. Okay, so I could have just not said anything.
Yeah, you couldn't have said anything.
Yeah,
I'm
he
just
makes
trying to
notice
get
of
in there,
that.
I guess. We'll go ahead and tap 1, play Vegeta, search out the Trunks.
And this is a very standard play
We shuffle.
for Trunksgeta. They play their 1 drops and they play each other.
Box, so now I can.
It's important to have the Vegeta
Sorry.
on the board because on his next turn he can awaken.
That's your first ever like
He
boss
can awaken his
Yeah,
leader,
it's just that I
literally on command.
I knew that I was gonna get it for Chris. I was asking for it for Chris.
So he wakes. If he does that, he'll go down to 6 life and untap 1, draw 1, just like this leader almost.
SS Super Saiyan 4. My first,
Only the stipulations are a little bit
my first
different.
one would have been Baby Hatch for my Gohan deck, but then I got Gohan Beast, and it doesn't even matter anymore.
Are you gonna play or are you gonna order a proxy?
I'm gonna.
So they're having a little small talk.
I'm gonna. Your
Always
deck
fun to make a little chit chat with your opponent,
Full pass.
especially since it's a local.
Yep.
This card is called Flight of the Grand Eagle. It's a interesting red card. What it does, it's a counterattack that gives your leader leader a battle card plus 100k for 1 battle. You can play for free by negging 2 guys by 10k, I believe, on your battle area. But most of the time, you can just pay 1 energy to do it.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so he swings with the leader.
Nice, nice.
Yeah.
Just 15 million.
Alright, we'll take.
Okay. I will awaken because I have these two in
Yeah,
there.
so now he's Quick Awakening. He's he
Six.
has a Goku and a Vegeta from the GT series, and then he untaps one, draws one. So now he has 2 energy. So normally, I don't know why, but every time I play against the guy on the right here, he never draws his Unison. It's a good idea to play the Unison on turn 2, because normally they awaken by turn 2, so they can have 1 energy open. But since he did it to where he pays 1 energy to play this, he was trying to fish out the Unison, the 2-drop Unison, and then you tap out 2 to play it. But hopefully he drew it this time, because this leader draws a lot on the backside.
I'll pass.
Alright, cool.
So, yeah, so you never really want to
Draw a
pass
card.
in this situation with 2 energy open, because this leader draws a lot and he can actually put a lot of pressure even on turn 2. But this is not usually a run-of-the-mill turn 2 for Gogeta, so I guess he just didn't draw his Unison.
Full charge.
Have you been
This
playing
guy.
since the beta decks?
Pardon?
Have you been playing since like the beta decks?
No. I haven't, like, since the beginning?
Yeah.
No.
So now he has 2 energy. He's allowed to awaken now because he now has a
This is
Vegeta
Gogeta BR.
Oh.
in active mode. He can just slip it underneath.
Like Goku.
A cool trick you can do is on your opponent's turn, when they attack you, you can actually combo off this Trunks as a free combo to Z charge. Because what happen, or not Z charge, put him in the drop area. Because if you Z charge it, you can't play it. And then when you play, when you slip this underneath the Trunksgeta leader, then when you swing with him on the backside, you can actually play the Trunks from your drop area onto the board, and then get another Vegeta out or draw a card. So that's a little cool trick you can do.
Let's see. How do I want to do this?
Well, it's not too OP. They kind of. It's really not that good.
That's true.
OJ played it and lost all but one round.
That's true. Um, we're gonna awaken. Place this guy here. Flip over. Draw one.
So here you can see that he wastes his awakening. When you awaken, you untap. Actually, you don't untap one, draw one. I'm sorry, you just draw one. I forgot that he doesn't do that. So here he just goes down to 6 and he draws one. So he doesn't actually untap. So that's the downside of playing this leader, even though it's one of the best yellow leaders in the game right
Something
now.
I've been trying to figure out. I just try. It's working out pretty well so far.
That's good.
One thing a lot of people forget is with this guy, when he swings, you can actually play the 1-drops from your hand. But that's rarely ever a good idea. Most of the time you want to play from your drop area. As I mentioned before, you can just combo this on your opponent's turn, and then just
And
on your turn bringing this out with this attack.
we won't combo. Go. I'll just make it 15.
Just 15?
Yeah, so he doesn't play any of his. So this lead is really good because you can actually generate a lot of advantage. And so choosing not to play the 1-drops from your hand puts you back a little bit against the Gogeta player, which draws a ton of draw a ton of cards. So it's not a good idea to happen.
Okay. I will do this.
Yep.
Tap one.
Play
Play this out.
Vegeta.
Yep. So, yeah, Matt.
All right. Cool. And then I'm gonna go ahead and.
So this play was pretty wasteful, I would say. Normally, you want to go down to 5 life because most of the time, your most red decks play a card called Testing the Opposition. They're basically token blocker negates, where if you have 5 or less life, you can activate it, take a life, negate the attack, and then play a token. So it's often a good idea to go down to 5 life against most decks because it'll make all your token negates live. Um, so you don't really mind taking that 1 damage to go down to 5. That's what I would do anyways. Um, And on top of that, he basically comboed this from his hand and played this. So that's two cards wasted out of his hand to play a 20k critical guy, which isn't so great. But I guess he did that so that he can play around the Trunksgeta blocker, which rests a card that he plays anytime he plays a battle card. Only once though, and it has to be the first one.
That's that. Okay, so that fizzles. Tap one. Drop a Z energy.
Oh, hold on. When this card's played, I'm gonna get rid of that too.
This is barrier.
Oh, it's very okay.
So he reminds him that this has barrier, and this doesn't ignore barrier. That card like basically says when it comes into play, it minuses something, not ignoring barrier by minus 15k.
Draw a card.
I never understood like.
So the guy on the left has a good idea, a good handle of what's going on. So he's Z-charged in the beginning to play this guy, and this guy basically says, take one life, bottom deck a card that you don't want in your hand, and draw a card. And the reason why he's doing this because he wants to go down to 5 life, so that he can play his token negate, which is I believe it's Frieza's army reinforcement. But let's see if he actually does it.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me
I think it's
either.
just, I think it's just because it's like a Xeno kind of card type thing, and that whole like Xenoverse.
Yeah, that's true.
So they just think that.
Yeah, a good strategy for yellow is actually to play the Super Namekian as quickly as possible. And then since it's in rest mode, it's actually vulnerable to a lot of attacks. So you do this play, the one drop, so you can go down to 5, so that your token negate can negate any strong attack going into the Super Namekian. Because this deck doesn't like being under Super Namekian. So when they're under his grip, they can't actually play a lot of their. They could play it, but they can't draw or yeah, they just can't do a lot of things. So having Super Namekian in rest mode with 5 less or less life, you can actually trigger the token blockers to protect your Super Namekian.
It really doesn't.
Like, what deck is it meant for?
Just yellow, I guess, but I guess they decided to make it black. Some weird design choice.
What if they ever screw someone over because they can't play Yellow Energy?
Yeah. I'm just not gonna take a life.
So he's choosing not to take a life. So this is actually most likely an error, just because. But maybe he's telegraphing that he doesn't have the token negate in his hand. So yeah, I'm not too sure about that.
Why not?
I feel like you can go down to 5 and plug your
Actually, you
stuff
know what?
protective.
You're right. I will take a life.
Okay, so his opponent actually convinces him to go down to 5 life, which is good.
We're gonna trigger play Bulma. Top 7 for Trunks or Vegeta.
So she adds a lot of consistency to be able to EX evolve on top of these 1-drops. Because you can actually fetch them.
And shuffle.
And it looks like you can also fetch the super combo of those deck.
And I mean, even if I don't get the draw, I get the 10k, so I can protect the important stuff.
Yeah. But
Which is also true. It does protect the important stuff.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So these type of super combos allow you to combo, and for their 10k value, but you won't be able to draw a card unless you have, I think, Sparking 5.
We'll make that our turn. Go ahead.
And he passes 1 energy, which is okay. But like most turns by turn 2, you have the Trunksgeta or the Trunks EX evolve to control your opponent. But since they both started off pretty slow in this game, it's going to be an interesting game because the stereotypical turns aren't happening.
what am I gonna do? Okay, I'll do this. Yeah, you know what I realized lately though? I don't like Gila doesn't really have SCRs that aren't like archetypes. Like they're not. There's no SCR that's just like it wasn't until Gohan and Piccolo.
That's true. That's
It
true.
was always just black
Technically,
SCRs.
Yellow Sin, but that wasn't as good.
Yeah, because it was a promo, right?
What's that?
It was a promo, right?
No. There was a Yellow Xeno Sin from Supreme Rivalry, where they first introduced Future Gohan, Supreme Kai.
So we can actually skip ahead. I think they're just chit-chatting here.
Yeah, Xeno Sin.
Yeah.
Okay, so he begins his turn by attacking with the leader.
But trust me, it exists.
I'll send a link.
No counters.
And later lets you draw a card and then play a Goku or Vegeta in rest mode. That's 1 drop. And this basically allows them to draw a card.
All right.
and when he's combo, he draws a card. So there's a lot of drawing.
Yeah,
And this whole mechanic gets stopped. This whole mechanic gets stopped if he had Super Namekian in play, but he doesn't.
there's a few cards in here, but most of it's like hollow. Like I have the
Alright.
Winter Stamp,
Nice.
Gogeta.
So that's 20.
Yeah.
Alright, just 20. Okay, cool. Let's combo Vegeta
Okay.
and
Oh my bad.
all good. Sorry, I'm just thinking. Steadfast.
Steadfast. Ooh.
Actually, wait, no. I'm not gonna combo Steadfast. I'm gonna combo this too. We'll send both of these.
Okay, so good idea. So he actually picks up that the trunks can actually come back with the leader ability. So comboing the one on the battle area to be placed in the drop is actually a pretty good idea. However, I would Z charge the other card that he comboed out of his hand and put this one in the drop area. That's what I would do differently. Let's see if he actually does it actually.
Comboing these guys. So I'm at
Yeah.
25.
Yeah, so this could have been Z charged over here.
Haven't you months ago the list?
Actually, wait, I was charged this guy.
Yeah, so he actually does it.
Yeah, I watched the video.
You watched the video?
Yeah, I saw this one. I'm gonna Z-charge this, is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright, cool.
So here he wastes out 2 cards. The Gogeta is able to combo to 20 without wasting much hand size, and doing this forces your opponent to combo cards on the board or hand, shrinking the hand size of the from the attack, which is a good thing for the Gogeta player, but a bad thing for the Trunksgeta player.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alright.
Okay, now he has a battle card. He's swinging in for 20k crit.
Token negate?
So he did actually have the token negate. So it's a good thing that he took his opponent's suggestion going down to 5, because otherwise this critical Vegeta is actually going to make his card go to the drop area. And here, playing the token negate allows you to keep the card in your life and add it to your hand.
I'll discard another one. Oh, and accept this. There's a few things.
Alright.
This is hollow in
Nice.
So this Vegeta says discard this card and add a Son Goku GT that's 20k or less, or 20k I believe power, and add to your hand from the deck.
Are you being serious?
They don't have what you're looking for, do they?
I have like 20. Oh, there's one.
You have 20 Gokus?
I think.
Well, it makes sense. This is a Goku Vegeta heavy deck, so.
No, not 20. Probably like 15.
Yeah, but there are a lot of Gokus.
Because I have like 20 room. 20 cards.
So this is a good time for him to tap out 2 energy so that he can play the Vegeta Rushing Warrior from the Z energy, and that applies even more pressure. It even takes out the token blocker, because Rushing Warrior's Rushing Warrior's ability allows you to clear this without wasting or bypassing the blocking, because auto happens first before the blocker. Let's skip ahead. Looks like he has a text message.
They've been posting new cards for like.
Okay. So I'm taking with this now.
Alright. Oh, you're attacking with.
Oh, yeah, you countered. Okay.
Yeah, I countered.
I was.
I remember now.
This is a bad game for me.
This is her.
This.
Okay, so he decides instead to play this instead of the Gogeta Rushing Warrior. Pretty bad idea, because right now he's in a vulnerable state where he's at 4 or less life, and that Rushing Warrior attack can actually bypass the blocker again to do more damage and waste cards out of his hand. But he chooses not to do it.
So you gotta tap one.
Yeah, thanks.
So very much like this guy's game plan, he goes down to 5 life, so the token negate is live. Yeah, token gates are really good if you have a unison you want to protect. So in this position, I would actually tap 2 for the unison if you had it. And it's really surprising to me he doesn't have it because he's drawn at least 5 cards this turn, or 5 cards total from his last turn to this turn.
Upkeep, draw a card.
So he's keeping 2 energy open.
Let's charge a Gogeta Final Flash.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about upgrading Aiku.
Aiku, yeah, that'd be good. I can see that. Seems like a really fun deck.
So one thing to note, he does actually charge another extra card here, and so that allows him to play Robotic Riposte for free, or for not for free, for 1. Otherwise it would just be 2. But now he has another one. Actually, he has 2.
All right.
So he has 1, 2, because this is actually supposed to be in the drop area.
Teamwork from the
So he has
draw.
1, 2, and 3.
Seemingly play out.
But that only reduces it to 1 anyways.
So that's 15 so far. Shuffle that. Go ahead.
And since this guy was in the drop, he basically fetches it from the drop and then plays his other copy from the deck.
So 15.
And I see that he has both the pieces of Namekian, so this would be the prime time to use it, because now on turn 4 he can actually Union Fusion, but Super Namekian should come down, so that can prevent the Union Fusion from coming down.
Yeah, Christmas. This year's Christmas was good. How was yours?
It was good. I'll leave it at 15.
You had 15?
Okay.
Yep, leave it at 15.
I'll take that.
All right, cool.
So he allows the attack to go through, so that kind of telegraphs he doesn't probably has a Tekken Negate, because Token Negate would actually be a good time to use it, because if he has the trunks that evolves on top of this, the token actually gets played in rest mode, right? So him not negating with the Token Negate here would actually be would be a good idea to play it. It would be a bad idea to keep it in hand, because now if he ever draws the Trunks evolve, he can actually rest the token that comes into play, but he doesn't have it, so it would be the opportune time to actually play the Token Negate here.
Draw a card on his skill. Draw a card off the leader.
Alright.
20k to lead.
So now he's swinging in for 20, and he can actually eliminate this threat because it's in rest mode now.
All right. Auto will KO Rivalry United, ignoring barrier.
Okay.
Since it's in the rest mode, it's the only thing I can KO at the moment. Just 20. Just 20.
Just 20?
Just 20. All right.
And he's going down to 3, which is pretty bad, but we'll see.
We're gonna play Evil Invader.
Okay, so yeah, he's actually doing the play. He's drawing a card, and he's probably going to play, tap out the last energy, and then he's going to play the Super Mega. Yep. So this should lock him out of doing the fusion.
Just 20. Alright.
Yes, super combo.
Alright.
Can I still draw my 2?
No, he can't. So this is yeah. So this actually stops the super combo as well. But he'll still get the 10k out of it. So he comboed out. I'm not sure what the hesitation is. Okay, so yeah. But a better turn would be last turn if this came down. Now his token negate would have been able to save this guy from being attacked by a big guy. But since he used the token negate first, and assuming he doesn't have another one, it's going to be tough for him to protect this.
I'll swing this guy to lead. This time we'll combo routine.
Okay, so I normally don't advise attacking with the 10k or anything smaller into a big leader. Reason being is that you're throwing cards in your combo area so that you can challenge the Gogeta hand, and that's kind of hard to do. Normally I advise you swinging with something similar stat or higher, because at this point you're wasting a Putine, which is a really good card in terms of the control game, and I would not even combo that at all. because resting cards is what the yellow leader likes to do the best.
We'll make it 15. Just 15. Actually, no, 15. We'll make it 20.
Okay, so he's wasting a lot of cards in this combo.
I'm not crazy. No,
When he can just take the damage. See, so now he's losing hand size versus him.
Ahead and pass after that. Go
When the
ahead.
idea was to keep the hand size to protect this guy from dying.
Just give me a second.
Alright.
Okay, we're gonna skip ahead to where they are gonna play.
Hold on, can I check that actually?
Yeah.
Tap 4?
Okay, so now he's gonna play 4. I think he doesn't know the ruling, but
It says draw a card, right? To play him? So you
yeah,
can't
so
play him.
he knows the ruling.
Yeah, it says it's part of the cost, right? Draw one card
Yeah.
and tap 4. So Lord Slug stops him from drawing.
Wait, hold on, can I check that actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna ask for ruling. He's gonna go over to ask for ruling because we can just skip ahead.
Okay, so. Okay.
Okay, so they confirm that he cannot do that, so he untaps his energy.
Alright.
So now that he sees that it's right, he's actually gonna go after it. And now he has to actually challenge the Gogeta hand on the offense step. And this is going to be difficult for the Trunksgeta player, which has a lower hand size. But had he had the token negate, he would have been able to negate this card's attack and then have a blocker to stop more attacks from going in.
No counters.
No, I can't. But yeah, I can.
Yeah, because it's non-leader, so you have
Yeah.
that's a leader.
I was like, oh my god. Wait, I'll go draw a card. No, I
Can't draw.
That's what I can't draw. Okay, I'm fine with this. I would draw a card.
So that's 20.
20 cards.
7.
I'll just combo with it.
Alright, so that is so
Hold
far.
on, so far.
25?
25. Wait, no, because this is.
Okay, so let's see. 15, 20, 30, 35. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
40.
40.
Just 40.
Alright, cool.
Sort of again.
So, Gogeta, draw a card. So that's 30. Gogeta, draw a card. So that's 40. 45.
Okay, so he combos out of it, but he wastes 2 super combos. So they're both kind of even. Both sides wasted 2 super combos.
Alright.
I'm starting to see things I'm interested in also. Really, just take out what you want. I know.
But now he has to deal with the rushing warrior. Pretty strong Z battle to go after the Namekian, Super Namekian here.
You know me so well.
I know Trunks. I know Goku Vegeta. GT. I know Gogeta.
You know Red.
I know Red.
A lot of times when people do that, like, Mike doesn't want to deal with them, so we'll hand them to either off.
Okay.
Every time I just say,
I will swing the lid.
so now I'm looking for
Okay, so he's chosen to ignore the Super Namekian,
Is it better?
It is Barry.
and normally I wouldn't advise that, just because Super Namekian is the obstacle here. But I mean, I guess he is at 4 life, so this is an okay play.
Barry.
Setting my barrier. Okay. Your whole board is barrier, right?
Except this guy.
Okay.
And the token.
So now he's down to 5. Oh yeah, and this guy.
Yeah,
and this
but-
guy.
He's barrier?
Oh no, these guys are not barrier.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'll neg that by 15 then.
Yep, so that is 15 to lead, and you're gonna combo?
Yeah, I have to come to the drop.
Alright.
It's an addition, actually.
Alright.
So I'll do that.
So that's 20? 25?
Yep.
Alright, cool.
This is like,
Mm.
there's maybe 240 cards in there by the end of it.
25? Draw?
So he uses third super combo.
25? 30.
30. Okay. So 2 cards net has been wasted from the left side's player.
That would be good. I restand because I have 4 more zeros.
Yep, now he's barrier double strike.
And Rushing Warrior is a free card, and he only wasted a. I believe he just wasted one card from his hand on the combo step. So that's always a good exchange. Let's go ahead on the timer.
Alright, cool. That's done then.
Okay, so it looks like he attacks with here into the card that he negged by this guy. But he's wasting an extra card on here.
Alright.
So now he's a 30 double strike at base right now, right?
Dad keeps texting me. Oh, that's just a reminder.
Okay, let's just skip ahead here.
I prefer.
Mission is take the life.
So it looks like he restands it and then attacks with the Z battle here.
Facts about each other from each other. So.
Oh.
And that's where the quirkiness starts. Anyway, sorry about that. Go ahead.
So this should have double strike here.
So.
And plus 10k.
Goes through.
Oh, string deleted?
It's a 30 double strike, right?
As of now, yes.
I will freeze army.
Okay, so he negates it.
Take the life.
Here, he can actually use the ability to kill the token even though his attack was negated. That's just a rule.
I'll still combo with this.
Alright, and then you neg something by 15. So this, or this.
I'll neg that by 15.
Yep, so he kills the token.
Good choice. Are you doing that move again?
I am.
Back to back rush attack again.
Yeah, so always a thing. The thing about this leader is that it can abuse this Z battle really well because it can generate such a ton amount of Z energy.
I don't want to choose that. That's 0 combo. It's not worth doing.
Yeah.
You can't combo.
You want to get the 5Ks, that's where it's at.
Yep.
Yeah.
Bro.
That's 3 SS4 cards. That's epic.
That's where they were all at. Remember earlier when I was searching my deck?
They all just disappeared in there. There's one more in your life, guaranteed.
So he swings in and then he tries to block. No, he doesn't. He just negs it.
That is to... Okay, never mind. You're not attacking. I just remember.
Yeah.
No, attacking live.
Swing deleted.
Alright, no negates.
Guess I'll neg that by 15 because I can't neg Trunks, right?
You can't neg Trunks, but you can neg this, but and neither of these are consequential right now, so you can neg either one. You can neg this one? Gone.
Alright. Then I'll combo with this.
So that's 20.
So it probably doesn't matter as much, but he should have actually negged this card because this is a 10k attacker, whereas Vegeta is only a 5k. 10k is a little bit more threatening, but I mean, this doesn't really matter too much. It's kind of ahead.
Double strike? For the turn, right? Just for this turn?
Just for the turn.
Alright, cool.
Swing again. You have negates?
No negates.
So now that, okay, so a cool thing to notice is that he wasted 3 super combos, so it's actually easier to play around the super combos, knowing that there's only one left in the deck. So his hand size should actually be able to take him down to 0 if he combos high enough.
I'll neg that by 15.
Yep, it's gone.
I sent you to play him too.
Yes, that's right, that's true.
Yeah, there was a regular that came in a lot.
I'll combo this.
So that's 30.
Cards in it?
6.
So he's asking for cards in hand so he knows if he can combo out of
So
it.
that's 35, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, how do I want to do this? So 35. So I'm at 15, 20, 25, 35.
And he's using the backside.
It's not restricted to my turn.
Yeah. So it goes up to 35, and he only needs 5 more.
Yeah, 40. So that escapes.
So this type of move is pretty cautious, and the reason why it's cautious is because you can actually over combo him, and he has a ton of cards left in hand to over combo. And in the very what is it called? In the very low odds that he is able to combo out of his attack with only his small hand size, he can actually just Z awaken to protect to not die. But I can, yeah.
Drop some stuff?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's important to know how much cards your opponent has, so you can calculate how much damage or how much defense power they have.
I will pass.
Okay, so he passes.
We'll untap. We'll upkeep. We'll draw. We'll charge. Charge Realm of the Gods.
From the gods?
Realm of the Gods.
Cool thing you can do in this position as the Gogeta player is if you have King Vegeta's imposing presence, you can actually play it for free to like slow down his aggression. It's kind of like a mini floodgate on your opponent's turn.
Leader to leader first.
I get.
Auto.
So he doesn't have the imposing presence,
Hold on.
or maybe he does.
I have a counter, but it's not gonna negate. My bad.
Okay.
I'll just do opposing.
Yeah, so he does have imposing presence. So
Is it neg 10? Neg 5? Alright, neg 10.
Neg 10, and each attack after this gets neg 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So, like, if you attack with a dual attacker, it gets neg 10 on the second attack.
I gotcha. Alright.
So as a yellow player, you want to try to force him to Z Awaken in order to survive. And then when he Z Awakens, he goes to 100k. But the downside is that everything stays in rest mode, including his energy. So it's always a good idea to consider that as the aggressive player against Gogeta. You want to force the Z Awaken with as minimal resources as possible.
We're gonna tap 1 for future on the line. He gets on tap, draw off of him, draw off of lead. Attack your leader. Imposing trigger, so that's 15, right?
Yeah.
Alright, so attacking leader.
I'll token negate.
Alright, that's the blocker.
Yep.
Alright.
Well, he has to play the token.
Swing with slug.
I'll do this. Doesn't negate the attack, but this triggers.
Oh yeah, that gives it 15. And
Yeah, it looks like he forgot that you can actually. You're supposed to put the token out.
Bro. Wait. What cost is it right now?
It's free.
It's free?
Yeah.
The Pan Secret Rare, if you guys don't know, it's a counterattack.
No, it doesn't work.
It costs two less for each battle card in play.
Is it okay if I just ask real quick?
That includes your own.
It's like with you know Dodoria, it can counter.
And then what she says when she's played, your opponent can't attack with battle cards for the turn, except for the battle card attacking.
Yeah, because she's a 0.
It's only in my hand that it gets.
But actually, it's part of the counter cost that so I can't really do anything about that in the first place, can I? I can't attack his battle cards for the turn.
If he had Swift Retaliation Cooler, which is a counter, he can actually stop this from coming down, and he does have the energy to do it. So that's one thing to notice.
Yeah, that's what I said. Wait, does it?
You can't attack with battle cards.
And it doesn't negate, or does it negate?
Doesn't negate.
Doesn't negate. Okay.
So this is his only shot at like taking the rest of his life down, but he can Z Awaken.
So
That's always a downs.
20, 25, 30.
So he's trying to force the Z Awaken, but he's wasting all his hand to do so, which is not a good idea.
GG's. GG's.
Oh, so he looks like he just scoops.
Yep. I forgot.
That never made sense to me.
Yeah, so what he could have done was Z Awaken into the Gogeta, and the Gogeta leader stops everything from restanding. Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, so it skips all of his charge phase. So that means that he can't restand anything except for the leader. The leader, I think it says, let me see here. Yeah, at the end of your opponent's turn, switch this card to active mode and remove it from the game. So this allows you to restand the leader, because at least you'll have the leader swing with this. And since he comboed his whole hand away, he would have actually lost. But he conceded without doing the Z Awaken. And he also had a token negate, so that's another thing to take notice. So yeah, that was the video. Hopefully, the two guys watch this video, and hopefully they can learn from their mistakes. It's always a good idea to keep the new players coming in because it keeps the health of the game, just basically healthy, so that we can have more players in the end of the day. So yeah, that was the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.